Watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Dive Podcast. I am your host of the Trap or Dive Podcast, Mual. AJ is in here. Dre is in here. This is a post-game recap. Immediate post-game recap. Commanders lose to Chicago 25-24 on the last second field goal. First off, let me get the administrative items out of the way. Appreciate everybody watching live. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're on the YouTube side, audio side, man. Hit that follow button. You know what time it is, man. Rate and review if you can. It takes 10 seconds to do so, and it's free to show you support. You know, we sometimes go through agony on this show. In the past, I say, having to come on this show after losses, and sometimes when you're here pre Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn era, you know, it's just like there is nothing happy or nothing like to discuss. You know, they suck. You didn't see anything that got better, but you know, we pulled up anyway. Today it hurts. This is a tough loss for Washington. I'm sure that everybody in that locker room understands the gravity in terms of in the way they lost 3 turnovers. And one being the fact that they overcame the first 2. Excuse me, the last one being the fact that they overcame the first 2. And you're in a 3rd-and-1 situation, approaching field goal range, and Jaden Daniels of course, weather played a part to some degree, but just inexplicably loses the ball. And another fumble for Washington that ultimately goes into the hands of Chicago. They drive down. Washington cannot get a stop. And boom, there you go. Chip shot field goal for the Bears kicker. Before I turn it to you all, AJ Dre, this is a game of missed opportunities. And honestly, I think like the fortune of whoever won was like, I'm glad we dodged a bullet, because both teams was getting blessed by the other team's mistakes. And no matter who won this game, whether Washington won or lost, I like coming on this show, you just knew that somebody was going to catch a big break. And the fact that Washington had a chance to overcome the 2 turnovers was one thing, but ultimately the story of the day is the fact that they kept turning the ball over, and that's what doomed them in the end. Obviously, there's a lot more in between the lines that we're going to discuss, but yeah, your overall thoughts on the 25-24 loss?
I mean, it's just an inconsistent game overall. I think that Washington's defense set out to make sure that Caleb Williams couldn't escape the pocket and create more so than stopping the run. For example, Jacob Martin started, like he played a lot of reps, and him setting the edge is not a thing. You feel me? Also, I don't know why Eddie Goldman was inactive. He definitely could have been used in this particular matchup, up front and trying to stop the run. They were getting gashed. But ball is life. You know, you can't have 3 turnovers and you're not creating turnovers on your end and expect to win a game. It's just not feasible. You almost did it, but then at the end you had another turnover. And maybe you can't see it from the TV copy, but like there's people that I knew at the game that were like texting me and saying like they're contemplating leaving because it's raining so hard. So I was getting those type of texts. I was like, damn, like Jaden don't have he don't have a glove on, nothing. Like it's easy to mishandle the ball, and that's exactly what happened in that situation.
I
And
think
then
it's harder with a glove on. Just to be clear, it's that's a little easy to
I
without the
mean,
gloves.
either way, it's just you don't have any turnovers that you were able to 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 make on your end. Like you can't have 3 turnovers, bro. Like ultimately, because I mean that game pretty much could have been under wraps if they converted on that first down. I mean, but then you also factor in Matt Gay missed a field goal attempt as well. So if you take and add those 3 points, now Chicago is forced to have to score a touchdown rather than a field goal. It's just a lot of things. I think overall with this team, man, they're just pretty inconsistent for the time being. We really don't know who they are fully. Um, the offense doesn't look as sharp as you would like it to or what it resembled last year, from a play calling standpoint, in my opinion. I think the offensive line did a pretty solid job for the most part. Um, I just think that defensively, yeah, when teams can put them in, these crosser situations or a lot of motion, they're getting screwed, and there's no answer for it. So it's kind of like it is what it is at this point. Like this is the defense you're gonna get.
And for clarity, shout out to Aoshi and Moneyball. So I didn't know either. But Eddie Goldman was sick, so he was out today with an illness. So that's why he was inactive. Dre.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is what it is. I mean, they gave you pretty much the performance that we've kind of come to see of them this year. It wasn't terrible, but at the same time, they're not forcing turnovers, and sometimes offenses make it look a little too easy. I thought Caleb missed a couple of throws. We got fortunate on a couple of plays where they could have been bigger. OZ drops a pass.
Oh my God, against Bobby Wagner, and like that's the one that's gonna kill fans because like they catch that. Why is Bobby Wagner
right
on OZ?
Yeah, but I mean, all that said, at the end of the day, I expect more from this offense. I mean, to me, this game was lost on the offensive side of the football. For one, you spotted them 13 points in this game. I mean, you give up the interception early with Jaden on a throw that Jaden probably makes 99 out of 100 times. I mean, for whatever reason, he was just late on that ball, throws a pick, Chicago kicks a field goal. Then Bill gets his second fumble in 2 games, and that leads to a touchdown. But and you saw Jaden very calm
that needs to be a
on the
conversation,
sideline.
by the way. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to cut you off,
good.
but that needs to be a real conversation because like a high fumble rate, especially when your usage increase, that's a conversation that like, yo, what we need to do with you.
Yeah,
I ain't had no problems after that, but still, as a person who's like getting a lot more attention and usage, bro, you can't fumble twice in 2 games, bro.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, last week should have been a wake-up call, but this game, if anything, is like, bro, you might get benched if it happens again, especially really soon, But I can't really blame scheme too much in this game. I mean, I thought it looked like we could move the ball pretty easy at times on Chicago. Like at one point, Jaden was in a zone. Like it just felt like everything was working. But at the end of the day, you can't make these mistakes that you're making in the game. Not only did you have the turnovers, Jaden had an inexplicable intentional grounding. And I feel like that's been a common theme for these quarterbacks throughout the season. Marcus Mariota had 2 of them. Jaden had one early in the season before his injury. Then he has one tonight that stalls a drive. And I mean, it's those type of mistakes that's hard to overcome. And again, when you're not forcing turnovers on the other side of the football, you just can't win these games. Like we can't have 3-0 turnover margins, not even 2-0. We have to force some turnovers on our end too. But if you're not doing that, you would expect this offense to lead this team. This is supposed to be the strength of this team. Like for me, I hold them in a higher regard than the defense at this point. So when they are making those mistakes out there that they made today, you just can't win the game. Like, I mean, you win this game if you don't make those, well, at least 1 or 2 of those mistakes are taken away. You win this game pretty easily.
I mean, I just know they better clean this up. The next 4 games is Dallas, Kansas City, Seattle, and Detroit Lions. So it's like, yeah, you better
And
get
all
right.
of them got top potent offenses, bro.
Yeah, you better get right, because I mean, they're definitely all gonna attack you in the same ways that everybody else has been attacking you. You feel me? Which is the middle of the field, putting your safeties and your linebackers in conflict. So it'll be interesting for sure. I don't think like the wide receiver play was that bad. It's just more so, you know, you can't have 3 turnovers. You got to force something. You gotta make some plays, man. They're not making enough plays defensively, and it just sucks because there's opportunities to be had. If they could have created 1 turnover in this game and got some points off of it,
We had a chance for 2 of them.
It's not
Frankie dropped one. Mikey.
It's not even gonna come down to
and then
that last,
I think Caleb Williams had a fumble
that last
too.
fumble.
Yeah. Even the kickoff return, we couldn't get that fumble. Like, I mean, come on.
Oh
man.
yeah. Even though I think he was down looking at
He
that
probably
replay.
was. Yeah.
Who was it in the chat? I want to shout him out too. Fuad mentioned because Dre, you had mentioned you didn't really think it was a scheme thing, and I actually agree with you, Dre. Today, I don't really think it was a huge scheme thing. But I will notice like he Fuad pointed something out, like too much last second communication happening on almost every play, prevented them from playing fast and going downhill. I don't think it was every play, but I do like notice some instances where they were communicating defensively last second. I mean, and it hurts them because like either they weren't picking up the call or they was reacting too late and the ball is snapped. And one big play, I think it was DJ Moore on the crosser, and Marshawn passed him off to the other end as he picked up somebody. I don't know who it was, but picked up somebody who was going up the seam. So DJ Moore was left wide open on the shallow cross, and he went for like 20-something yards, unless that was Rome Medusa. I can't remember who it was, but somebody on the shallow cross, so he went for like 20-something yards uncovered, for like free. Like, and that's because whoever Marshawn passed him off to just wasn't, they didn't pick up the call. And I mean, that's just a inexcusable coverage breakdown based on whatever their principles are. Somebody clearly missed like the assignment on that play. But it's probably something that I'm sure Joe Witt and company has preached to them 1,000 times in practice on what they're supposed to do if this situation occurs on these crossers. And to AJ, I think kind of to the defensive side, like I think we know like it's a gauntlet coming up, right? And these guys, like you had an opportunity against Chicago, you couldn't do your thing, couldn't force turnovers. And when you think about the offense, I think I asked Mitch Tischler when he was on, or who was it? Who was we talking to? Kevin Sheehan. That's what it was. I was like, because I'm trying to figure out, like, yo, what is this offense to start the season? Like, I couldn't really pinpoint the thing, and it's penalties and third downs. Washington 3rd and 8 today or tonight, and what 5 penalties on the day, which is actually a good day for this team so far, the way they've been playing this year. But 5 penalties, and 3 for 8 on third down. I think these slow starts in the first half, and at this point, you've only really had, bro. Like I'm actually asking y'all now. Like did they only have a good start in the Raiders game? Because I don't remember any other game where they had a good start in the first half or the first quarter, I'd say.
I mean, you could probably say
the
the
Giants,
Giants
I think they
make
was,
an argument,
but that was 3-0. Like they weren't doing shit.
Then,
Let me double check against the Giants, but
I actually thought the second half they slowed down in the Giants game.
Yeah, the second half they slowed down the Giants game, but in terms of like the way this team has been starting this season, bro, whether it's again penalties, whether it's not staying on the field on third down, or actually Jaden like having like slower starts with his ball placement and precision, it's just something I don't like. It's a combination of things that's really hurting these guys right now. And I'm not saying like they're still a pretty good offense, right? They're potent. You know what they're capable of. But yeah, this is kind of like we're really about to get into like crunch time of the schedule. Like this is where like things are really going to be important. It's going to like there's a big swing coming up, and that's kind of was by Miami. Like they ain't got Tariq, but they still got that head coach, that little crazy head coach, bro, and he could dial some shit up with the weapons that they still do have. And I say that because they're after Detroit. So like it's a 5-game stretch coming up before that bye week where you like, bro, they better lock the fuck in.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that overall they haven't really got into their real rhythm of the offense, like the identity of this offense. Like last year, we kind of knew it was up tempo. They're still trying to figure out the identity of this offense. Whether that be the rotation of offensive linemen, because Cosme's supposed to be coming back into the lineup next week against the Giants. Well, this week,
Cowboys.
against the Cowboys. I think that of course, like fans and the media, they all want to love on Bill, but reality is like you probably need somebody else at that running back position. You probably need a bit more firepower, and how should I say this? Okay, so there's names that being rumored as being available, right? Like a Brees Hall, Alvin Kamara. Like those guys could possibly give you some extra juice. I think that they just don't know what they ultimately are as an offense right now. Um, and it is just a little bit frustrating. I don't want to harp on the wide receivers too much. I think they didn't play that bad of a game. But at the
Yeah,
end
they
of
just
the
needed
day,
Terry.
yeah, I'll skip past that part. But at the end of the day, they had an
Couple
opportunity to win this
drops.
game. They had an opportunity to win this game. Some people in the chat are saying the blame of the loss is on Jaden. I mean, bruh,
Yeah.
he was late on the pass. Like that happens. That was his first interception of the season.
Well, granted though,
But
two very detrimental penalty turnovers to that directly caused Washington 6 points. And while that's not touchdowns.
That's a swing too,
those,
when you get a touchdown too.
Yeah, and to the point, like those 6 points directly reflected the outcome of the game. Like that's a big deal.
He also accounted for 21 points.
But listen though. All right, so here's my stance. Because I don't want to argue about this. My stance is, and when it comes to turnovers, bro, like, and that's why I kind of preface the start of the show is like, if you overcome those 2 turnovers, bro, at the beginning of the game, because they're the first two drives of the game tonight. Like, you can overlook 2 turnovers like that, right? Because it's like that's the beginning of the game. You got plenty of time left. They happen in the first quarter, but ultimately, when you have that pick, and then at the end of the game, you have a fumble, bro. Like, and also to be clear to the audience, I'm not here putting a blame game on anybody. I like there are so many things to go around. Like I think, and I was talking
I
to
mean,
Dre before you got on here.
let's
AJ,
do it. But let's
but
do it. Who's
so
to blame for
okay,
this loss?
all right,
JD5 or the
okay. So
defense?
no, I'm not doing either or. I'm gonna do if we're gonna do a blame. I'm gonna go Jaden Daniels, not in order. Jaden
Nah, come
Daniels,
on, bro. Like,
Dan
put it in
Quinn.
order. Put it in order.
I'm on the spot, bro. All right, listen. Just
Yeah,
let me
put it in
get my
order,
name.
though.
Let me get my names off. Let me get my names off, bro. Let me get my names off.
And put them in order while you get them off.
Jaden Daniels. All right, fuck it then. Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn, Quan Martin, and the run game. The whole defensive, the run defense. All of that. If I had to put it in order, I was forced to, by the way. I was held at gunpoint, virtual gunpoint. You know, if I had to do that, that's where my blame is, bro.
There's somebody else that should be on that list too. He may not be high up, but to me, and this could have been my neck of that. When y'all watch film all, you could probably tell me something different. But I thought Wiley had a horrible game. Like every time I seen somebody get beat, it looked like Wiley was getting beat out there today, man. Like, you know, a couple of those times where the pocket collapsed, Jada had to run out. It looked like Wiley was getting beat. But again, that was my neck of that. You might see something different when you watch film, but I think we missed Cosby.
I want to get y'all take on this then too about the blame pie. But the one thing I want to acknowledge though too, like, because I keep going back to the defense because like that's the biggest. One more thing I got to add to. I'm gonna be quick. Do y'all know where we were in third down positions offensively going into the game? And I know it's gonna get worse after this too. 3 for 8 tonight. Do y'all know where we were going into the game on third down percentage?
I don't.
You don't know either, AJ?
No.
29th. Fucking terrible. We don't stay on the field at all no more, bro. And fourth downs ain't like, it's not like we're going on fourth downs at a high clip. That's the first thing. Second thing is defensively, I was going to acknowledge like Ben Johnson was not like super creative, but he was intentional in terms of like creating the space for his playmakers defensively. And like when you run into an Andy Reid, Detroit Lions, they just got a fucking plethora of play callers who just are super smart. Like those two in particular who are coming up, like I think Ben Johnson did a really good job of just creating this space, whether it's the run game or on the boundary with these one-on-one opportunities. Like, I don't think people understand just how aggressive this Commanders defense is. And like, that's also part of the reason why teams can run, if they're patient enough and things of that nature, why teams can run like these play fakes or these misdirections, because like the defense is so hell-bent on believing what they see and going downhill and playing fast football that you can counter teams like that. And Washington fits the mold of the traditional defense who's just super aggressive and they don't give a fuck about anything else, bro. Like, and I think that's what ultimately gets them in trouble a lot. But tonight is just what exposed them, because they had weapons on the other end in Chicago who can really weapons in terms of like on the field, but also a play caller who can really time that shit up and counter what Joe Witt wants to do. And I think that's for Andy Reid and the Detroit Lions, like those next few games that's coming up, like that's also something that I wanted to mention. Like that, this is really a gauntlet coming up, and if they don't lock in, bro, like that offense that's struggling right now, they really gonna have to hang up 50 a game just to keep this team in it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to answer my question, who's to blame more? My number one rank would be the defense. Number one rank would be the defense. Number two would be Cliff Kingsbury. I don't think like the offense had any flow. You gotta say Jaden Daniels in regards of like throwing an interception in the red zone. You essentially were in the red zone. That should have been 6. That was
And
a wide open guy.
Yeah, yes.
That's a wide open guy in the NFL. Like that's 6. I think Cliff redeemed himself, you know, with that fake screen wheel route. That was a nice play call there to get Luke McCaffrey a touchdown. You know, just also Matt Gay. Like we don't talk about him a lot because we don't see them pivoting from him. But is so inconsistent at the kicking position. Like,
bro, they showed his 50-yard percentage right before the kick, bro. The first one, like it was he fucking like 50% from 50, and what do you do? Just missed that bitch, bro.
Yeah, so it's just like those are my ranks. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think I'm not necessarily as mad at the loss. Like they should have won this game. A few things could happen, but they ultimately need to start creating turnovers. Like the Chicago Bears are number 2 in the league in creating turnovers, and that helps a lot. But I just think that with these next few games coming up, I just want to see how Joe Witt Jr. Puts these guys in position to succeed, and if they can make the best out of the opportunity, because the teams that are lined up next are going to put them in the same position to have to contemplate how to defend, and they're not playing fast enough. I know some people want to blame Quan Martin. Quan's been asking me in general, so I don't even want to talk about him too much because
did I put him in? Did I put him in my list?
yeah, you did
Yeah.
put him in your list. He's ass. He's ass. So
I also think though to add, but not to add to he's ass. I am, but I also think like that play, bruh, where he gives up the 55-yarder. I think that one was so detrimental in this game because we're talking about a situation where Washington retook control or regained control. What the fuck is retook? Regained control of the game's momentum. Like, and we're talking about an 8-point swing or 8-point lead now when they were down 13-0. They were 17-3 in the second half in terms of the point differential. They had a 14-point lead in the second half, 24-3 run overall. And while the game wasn't over and they still had the lead after Quan gave up the touchdown, I think that one moment like inexplicably deaded the rest of the momentum. Like they drove the ball offensively, but it wasn't easy. Pressure was getting there, and then defensively they just wasn't getting a stop. So I just think it was kind of that's how big of a moment that was for Quan. And of course, you don't want to give up 55-yarder anyway, and it all be on you because all you gotta do is make a tackle. But yes, that I think that moment was really big for this game and this particular situation.
And I think the blame was enough to go around for, pretty much all, like Maul, I think you hit on pretty much all of the guys I would have said the blame is on. Like, I'm not going to say one was higher than the other, but the frustrating thing, like when you
he made me, bro, you got to rank him, bro.
yeah, you got to rank him. Go ahead.
I mean, see, and I want to say Jaden is the highest portion, but Jaden had a good game as well, but he's up there though. You have to put his 2 turnovers up there because of the points that they cost the team. And one of those turnovers took away points off the board for Washington. But the defense too, like the frustrating thing about the defense is it's like, if you're not going to be a shutdown type of defense, you're going to be a quote unquote bend but don't break type of defense. You need to be opportunistic at some point in time. Like you need to be able to create some turnovers at some point in time. Like, I mean, I know people talk about the personnel and all that, but I counted 3 drop picks today. Like 3 drop picks. Quan dropped one on the double coverage one that Caleb threw deep. Mikey, like I said, he drops one. Frankie Louvu drops one, even though that one did cause a turnover on downs. But it's stuff like that are right there in guys' hands. The plays are there to be made at those times, but we're just not making those plays. Chicago made those plays today. Like they didn't, miss a chance to jump on a fumble. They didn't miss a chance to break on the ball and catch it and, turn the ball over. But our defense just doesn't seem like we're able to do that, at least not consistently. It's like few and far between. Like when it is an interception or something, we're all shocked or something, But going forward, we're gonna have to get a little bit more out of this defense if we want to be even a playoff team this year. Because the offense, I mean, they pretty much have to be perfect. We can't go into games as an offense turning the ball over if our defense isn't turning them over and expect to win games. We saw that today. We lost the game today because we turned the ball over 3 times and we didn't create a turnover. That was it. I don't care about who else was missing, Terry, all of those guys. You had a chance to win today, but you had self-inflicted wounds on offense today that, the defense wasn't going to allow you to recover from that.
Yeah, Eddie, you kind of hit one of my points earlier in the show. And appreciate everybody that's in the chat now. Appreciate y'all watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to HUH in the chat. Team manager. Even though she's an Eagles fan, I'm pretty sure she's here to troll. It's cool though. It's cool. But Eddie said, for those that's listening to the audio side, Bears played sloppy 1-3 in the red zone. Bears got a blocked field goal, turned it over on 4th and 1, and got a TD call back. He said we wasn't supposed to win. I alluded to the beginning of the show, not about who was supposed to win or who wasn't, but to the fact that whoever won the game, whoever won the game probably would have came across the point of like, yo, we got blessed. And I think that's just kind of the case here for Washington. One thing I will say, and this is all I got left for tonight. The play that Jaden actually did fumble. I said before they even snapped the ball, and granted they do pistol a lot, right? But I said before that play, 3rd and 1, I'm like, yo, they in a pistol and they only got a yard to go, and they ain't want to put him under center just to get a snap, and whether he handed off or not, fucking just try to sneak the ball on 3rd and 1 in this situation where we talk about bleeding the clock down. Where are y'all at with just the alignment or the formation with that? Is it a big deal to you all, or you wasn't thinking nothing of it in the moment?
No, I mean it was a big deal. You put somebody in pistol, now you're like 5-6 yards behind if you're giving the ball to the running back instead of just pushing forward and getting 1 yard. Like you could, but they were strategically trying to wind down the clock and play the clock games. And like you said, you could just get 1 yard. You feel me? You just do a QB sneak. Like there's so many different things that you could do there. I just think that at some points during the game, like, or just during games in general, Cliff gets kind of conservative when you should just keep being aggressive. I don't think that they should have even been trying to play for just running down the clock. I think they should have still been trying to score. But in that particular situation, 3rd and 1, why not just do a quarterback sneak? You know, you can't gain any negative yards from a quarterback sneak.
Yeah, I mean,
Either you get it or you don't, and you got another opportunity to maybe have to get an inch.
yeah. But I mean, Maul, to answer your question, I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. But if I did have a criticism about Cliff, it's one of those things. This is a common thing. Even when we're on the goal line, we're in shotgun or we're in pistol. We're not lining the quarterback under center. So, sometimes it just puts the offense at a disadvantage. I actually just got a chance to, peek and see what Jaden had to say about his fumble. And Jaden said that he completely lost focus. He said, I lost focus and didn't give Bill a chance, and that was completely on him. I mean, it sucks, but that happens, man. But at the end of the day, like I said, you figure that's a 3rd and 1 situation, and more like we were talking about beforehand. At worst, you're thinking this is 4 down territory, right? You only got 1 yard to gain. If you can get that 1 yard, or you don't get it there on that 3rd, you're more than likely probably gonna get it on 4th. It's hard to stop that offense, at least with Jaden, 2 plays in a row. But it just sucks that they didn't even get a chance to even do the 3rd down play because a fumble snap by Jaden just cost the game. But like I said, it's unfortunate.
Hey man, but before we wrap up, man, because I know it's getting close to the end of the show. It's past midnight. Just want to say I appreciate everyone coming and supporting us, Trap or Dive, at our Commanders rally that we had yesterday at Hyatt Social in Clarendon, Arlington, Virginia. It was an amazing turnout. Appreciate Santana Moss for hosting. Also shout out to Greg and D'Angelo Entertainment. It was an amazing turnout. Was able to meet, some of our listeners.
Ain't nobody had no smoke for you in person, bro. I want to shit you be talking
Nah,
online, bro.
It was all love yesterday.
It was all love.
Nah, that's good though. Cause I hate like people bringing these, not to take away from which I want to get, but like people be giving these like fucking building up this animosity and like these weird ass emotions to people they don't know in real life, bro, off of tweets, bro. like, man, anybody got time for
Yeah.
that bullshit?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely interesting. It was all love. I mean, like even for example, one of the guys, Matt, he's had some smoke for me on X, but it was all love in person. He was just like, you're a cool dude. Then did a shout out on X. Like, it's all love, man. Like, yeah, we was just missing Maul yesterday, but Dre was in his pocket. He was getting it in. He was locked in. Also, shout out to Jaden Daniels' mom, Regina. She came through. Definitely a chill, welcoming spirit. Definitely had dudes was shooting. They shot. Boy, Dre, did you see when she went outside?
I was with y'all when we went outside.
Bruh,
What happened?
dudes,
Oh, they was
dudes was
lined up.
shooting. They shot like crazy. And she
Dang,
was
at this
like,
point, 2 years in like in the spotlight from her perspective, she probably a professional shot blocker, bro. She
oh
probably
nah. She was telling me, she's like, I'm so used to this. Oh yeah, by the way, Big Pippin Slim DB. He did come up to me and he said something to me about Whole Foods. And I put his ass in a headlock.
Yeah, AJ put him in the headlock.
I put him in a headlock. But nah, shout out to him, man. All love, man.
Hey, that's
Appreciate you
funny as
having
hell.
a sense of humor. But yeah, man, we
Hey, I
we,
know it
we
feels good to give out credit, bro, especially for people that help make the shit happen, man. That's a big deal, bro. You know,
nah. So
gotta
yeah, I
give
mean
credit when it's due, man. And y'all did a hell of a job.
we'll probably do more, man. Celebrate it. But like I said, it was good to
Man.
see some of our listeners have a great time and get to meet them face to face. Cause I was like, I'm sitting here running back and forth, head spinning, and then Big Pip and Slim say something to me about Whole Foods. I'm like, oh shit, this is him in real life.
Hey, look, man. If
That
y'all
was
see me at
funny.
the, I ain't missing the next one. But if y'all see me, bro, assume that I'm busted, bro. Don't even just say hello, bro. Cause I'm getting turned. I'm getting lit, bro. Getting lit. Was the drinks good at Hyde? That's an important thing. Cause I told you I was trying to go to Hyde for a minute, and out of all the weeks that we had something at Hyde, I couldn't go.
Bro, everything was great, man. Shout out to
Everything
High
was great.
Social.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
lie.
Good.
Maybe people ran up my tab way too much. Ran up our tab too much. Cause boy, hold
How
on,
many people
hold
was you
on, hold on,
supporting,
hold on,
AJ?
hold on, real quick. I got the receipt,
I
bruh.
saw it.
First off, that shit
This,
sound like a CVS receipt. What the fuck?
bruh. This is the beginning of the receipt of what our tab,
Nigga,
Bro,
first off,
I put a
I
look, Ma. I put an order in for some wings, and I saw her
bruh.
typing it in, and it said 1,500 for the bill. I said, "Oh shit!" I thought we were
first
caught.
off, first I about to say that's what I thought the way he was talking. I was like, bro, if I see a receipt that long, bro, they ain't gonna
Oh
ever see
nah,
me
it's
again.
it's it's even higher than what he just quoted. That's why I was just
Yeah,
like,
that was just in the
damn.
middle.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's all love, man. At the end of the day, it was good connecting with the fans. There's people from all walks of life, people from Alabama that came up, from Tennessee. They watched the show. They spoke highly of all of us. Some were asking where's Maul at. We told them you'll be around for the next one. But yeah, I just wanted to say, appreciate those that keep trapping and diving with us, the trappers. And yeah, we definitely appreciate that support and look for more to be coming. But yeah, I mean, I know it's a tough loss,
I'm about to say it
especially.
sucks. They couldn't reward us, man,
Yeah,
for the good
it
time
Yeah.
we
it
had, man.
sucks, but I mean, ultimately, man, it's just defense just got to be better. But I mean, it's great people, man. It's great people within the fan base for sure.
Last thing, I'm sorry, bro. And this is the last thing. What the fuck are we doing at the end of halves, bro? Like, how do we, bro? Like, this was, and honestly, I was thinking about this the whole show. I just ain't bring it up. I just thought we had other pressing items to talk about. But, bro, you telling me that I got the notes right here. We get a stop on Caleb Williams. Uh, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? We get a stop on Caleb Williams with like a minute and 4 seconds on the clock, a second down, bro. We let the clock run all the way down to 40 seconds, 30 seconds. And we call a timeout with 33 seconds left to go in the first half. We had 2 timeouts at that point. On the third down call, we had 2 timeouts left on this point. At this point, we called 1 timeout with 34 seconds left. They punt the ball. We kneel it and go into the half. We leave a timeout on the board. And I'm like, bro, if we're gonna call timeout, what the fuck are we doing? Like, are we gonna be scared or are we gonna actually believe that we can get the ball back? Because I know I understand what they're thinking. Probably they're like, bro, I don't want to give these guys a fresh set of downs with all this time left. But nigga, do you want the ball back or not? If you don't want the ball back, then don't even call a timeout on third down. Let them punt the ball or take it into the half. Like, I don't understand. And this is like consecutive weeks, throughout the entire season, bro, where we're dealing with end of first half situations where it's like, bro, do you want the ball back? Or are you conserving time? Like, even if they're on offense, they have these situations where they just let clock run. Like, how much time? Like,
I mean, I think it's a combination of 2 things in those situations, right? It's like you're scared of having a turnover, but ultimately you don't trust your kicker in long distance opportunities. I mean, this is a new day and age of football, bro. Like, kickers are making 60-yard kicks on a regular, 50 plus yard kicks, 55 plus yard kicks. It's really not that hard to move the ball downfield because defense are already giving you soft coverage anyways. It's just that you don't trust your kicker. Like, so you feel like you're not even trying to go for 3, you're trying to go for a touchdown. So that's really what it boiled down to. I mean,
Jay Tizzy, side note, I ain't mean to cut you off. Just one thing. Jay Tizzy, bro, think about it. If he thought that if you thought the Bears was gonna let Jalen Lane get a chance to return the punt, bro, then he's stupid. And I don't think he's stupid. I think he know better, bro. Because ain't no team in the NFL who's aware of Jalen Lane is going to punt the ball to him inbounds when it's only 30-something seconds left. They're going to punt the ball out.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I think we got some things to review. But the most interesting part is, and what could really help get over this particular loss is Dallas week.
Yeah. But so, I mean, even still, I mean, this was frustrating, and I'm with you on that time management thing because it's been an issue all season. I thought we were better at it last year, but it's time for this team to buckle in from all standpoints, the coaching staff, the offense. We got to get players back, from the injury report. Noah, Terry, defensively, somebody has to start locking in because we got to see some consistency as far as if we want to be a playoff team or we want to be taken serious this year, we have to start stringing together some wins. We haven't strung together any wins all season. It's just been one win, one loss, one win, one loss. That's how the season's gone so far this season. So, I mean, right now, and if you had to pace it out, we're looking like an 8-9, 9-18. I mean, that's not, a dangerous playoff team. So something has to start getting locked in. And I do think it starts with the coaching staff on down to the players. So Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Witt, everybody got to shape up and we got to get guys healthy. And things have to start getting back on track now, man, because we get into that middle of the season where you want to start really separating and really create some kind of identity for the team moving forward.
All right. We'll get out here with the 1-sentence takeaways. Shout out to Armani. Couldn't stop the running pass. Real Ty Mandela, 3rd and 1 from the shotgun is crazy. Ant still starting slow. Allen, I appreciate your engagement. But damn, that's like 50 words. Shout out to you, Allen, bro. Good friend, follower. Benz can't turn the ball over with our sorry defense. What's up, Benz? Shelly, we beat ourselves tonight. Chad, and at least we didn't get blown out. Okay. Zim
rather got blown out
than this one. Like, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I felt happy for a few moments, bro. Because I told you I had some money on the line. I'd rather feel that feeling than knowing I ain't ever about to win it. Bucket, stupid time I was late and no situational awareness. Tampico Slim, get ready for the quote unquote 3-game skid. Last of the fall, and this is undisciplined team that makes too many mistakes. I'll read a couple more and we out of here. YS Stebble said, I'm out on Wit. And Joshua Phoebus said they don't stop, bro. you see the name and see if you know how to say it on the first try. They need to bench Bill is what he said. All right. That's it. We will be back. Hey, so yeah, fuck it. We're gonna be back tomorrow. But I don't think we'll have enough turnaround time for a film review by tomorrow's show. So we'll have our second thoughts tomorrow, and then obviously back on Thursday for the Dallas preview. Y'all take it easy tonight, man. Damn, Dre, I know you got fucking get up for work tomorrow.
No, take it easy, bro.
I'm off tomorrow, bro.
About to go to sleep.
Are you off? Holiday?
I'm off tomorrow. No, I just took off.
How you off tomorrow? Furlough.
Well,
no,
I'm essential,
yeah.
So I still had to go in, but I took off weeks before. Like I purposely took off every Monday night or Sunday night game. The next day, I already even took off.
Oh, that's so smart, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Soon as the schedule came out, that's what I did, bro. Like,
I should have been did that. Okay. All right. Well, shit. Fuck it then. Everybody take it easy, bro. Y'all be safe. Fella be back tomorrow. And yeah.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Damn, set. Watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.